Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame he never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him. Six months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying.
The good, the bad, and the dead. So this would be our final of the three guys.
For 40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now. Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly. But the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant, that son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
But for all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed my mind, as did others. For instance, did my thirst for vengeance turn me into something worse than the man I was after? By this point in my storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had. I was furious as hell at that bastard for making me who I am. A man with no family, no friends, no purpose except shooting Bob Bryant dead.
Inlaid 6. So we can increase the reload rate by button smashing. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. I'd rather take the slower reload rate. It's even on a controller it's fairly annoying, but keyboard isn't for that. What's this? And suddenly dead. It's again very, very dream-like environment. That came from there. See one fish.
Nothing could stop me from taking his life. I've been after that killer forever. From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. There I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades. Just like me.
I'm sort of curious to know where this story goes. I'm guessing he might not kill the last guy.
About to call it quits.
And quick time events. Lovely. Wonder how many of these ambushes I have to deal with.
Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They were after a treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in the grave of a dead amigo. Some folks think the town is haunted, so they figured there wouldn't be many people poking around.
Seems like this is a quick time event territory, so I have to be careful of that.
I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was on to them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
Put that geezer in the ground!
Geezer? Can't really see anyone.
But you obviously prevailed since you sent me down.
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail.
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack. Because when I woke up,
From the dead?
there was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop. Here, there, even over there.
This is gonna be a long, painful road for us.
So I am right. You are touched in the head.
Mr. Greaves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer, Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition.
You're literally fighting ghosts. It's pretty nasty because it's hard to say who. Yeah, we're in a foggy environment and the ghosts
I
are
saw
white.
Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me.
I can't see anything. Sort of shooting in the whiteness, more or less. Okay, now I sort of see them.
And in the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin, just like I remember.
Okay, where did I see someone? Okay, I know he's there, but I'll try to spot the white man in a white fog. Ghost of a white man. could at least see it. There.
Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun. But no ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me dead.
Okay.
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy.
Thought.
Oh yeah, someone got behind me. How many times do I have to redo this?
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next. Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
Next point. Faster scan. Fast aiming, pick your targets faster, your speed of aiming any weapon will be increased by 30%.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before you seem alive.
He was alive.
dead at this point. Recover.
Then I heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you.
You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked them about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life?
You frittered it all away, Butch. Eda's mine. So is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question, but those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
Oh, Mexican standout. Switch your focus to the enemy who is looking at you. Okay. That's the wrong way. What the fuck was that? Wrong button. So it's not pre-decided who's gonna draw or not.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6 months ago.
Okay, at least they did something new again. New again with the building, so I'm pleased with that. Not pleased with the level. This is wondering where this is going, because now we're basically fighting ghosts at this point instead of actual enemies, but we'll see. It feels like it's fairly rapidly going into something. Conclusion, I hope. Finale.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob?
There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
I was a different man back then, crazy. Drinking, I've changed my ways, I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
I don't see any real reason to kill the man. I would say getting revenge is certainly warranted, but at the same time, who are you exactly killing? The guy who did what he did is long gone, and in the same way, in the road to get your revenge, you become exactly like him. So, what's really the difference between you two? I wouldn't blame anyone from taking revenge, but at the same time, you deserve as much as death as this guy does, so...
Why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Wanted to suss you out, Bob. See what kind of man you turned out to be. Maybe prod you into drawing on me. See, all those years on your trail turned me into a killer. Can't even remember who I was before you tried to murder me. You, on the other hand, walked that very same path in exactly the opposite direction.
What do you mean by that?
You think your life is worth sparing, Bob? Boy, what's your name again?
It's Eisenhower, sir. Dwight Eisenhower.
What do you plan to do with your life, Dwight Eisenhower?
Tomorrow I'll be leaving for West Point, sir.
So, you want to be a soldier? Well, then do it right, son. Don't tear down the world out of anger and spite like I did. You build it up. You do something decent with your life, you hear me?
Sir? Yes, sir.
I won't have it said I left you with nothing, Bob.
And I guess that's the end.
Ooh,
And about 2. This is a nice diversion game.
Won't you spare me over till another
Not all of
day?
the levels, some of them. Just a little bit of tunnel shooting, but it's fairly pleasantly done. So, although I'm not a fan of this type of action game in general, this is a well done action game like that. So no complaints really there. I have some complaints about the dueling, but you can play the arcade mode. I mean, basically there are maps that are filled with people, and that you have to burn through them, and you don't have to do any dueling. So this is a nice side entertainment. I don't really have much complaint about it, because all the complaints I would have would be basically that it is a tunnel arcade shooter, and that's sort of a stupid thing to complain about if you're playing a tunnel arcade shooter. So it is a good, I guess, a good example of how this type of a game can be done entertainingly and well.